You are now tuned into the sounds of what black men like. Got Malik in the building.
Brooklyn.
Got Willie P in the building. Don't be scared now.
Came up from Alabama.
The #1 apex in the world. I know there's something absolutely unique about these guys.
Legendary.
Y'all know what this is. This is Mr. No Cap, world famous.
Look, nobody from Baltimore can offend me.
You're now tuned into the sounds of what black men like. Welcome back to What Black Men Like, the Black Man's Lifestyle Podcast. This is yours truly, Mr. No Cap. Of course, we got the regular cast of characters in the building. We also got our returning champion, Devon, is back in the building. How's it going, man? How you been?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I can't complain at all, man. Family's good, wife's good, life's good, brother.
Pleasure to have you back. We know you're going to come in here and give your well thought out opinion on this topic. We do have another guest that's going to come in and jump in, bring her in as the conversation flows. So today we are actually talking about class versus ass. Do men prefer classy women or assy women, women with that ass? So I really want to start this off by defining what it means to be classy. What is a classy woman or a classy person? Like Willie P is kind of the inspiration for this because he always talks about classy women. So Willie P, I want you to come in here, give us a definition of what is a classy woman.
That's right. Willie P, Willie Pimp in here. I love classy women. I don't think they get enough attention. I definitely don't think they get enough respect. They definitely don't get the type of respect and attention that they deserve. So for me, a classy woman is one that is carried by standards. She's carried by standards and principles that she wouldn't compromise for anything. She's not out here seeking anyone's validation. Taraji P. Henson, Regina King. Women like that, women that you would never see on their fucking butt ass naked twerking or some shit like that. Vanessa Williams. Those are examples of classy women. And I think, honestly, they should be the standard for black women.
Well said. Devon, can you come in here and tell us your idea of what comes to mind when you hear the term classy or classy woman?
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback on what Willie was saying, I'll also throw in Angela Bassett in that as well.
Yeah.
Her and Nia Long, that's one of those. Those are two of my all-time favorites, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not only are they classy now, but they've been classy. Wasn't no point where they went through this phase where they was doing all kinds of crazy shit. They've been consistent. And I look at classy in the same way that Willie said, but I also look at the sophistication part of it. I mean, they look sophisticated, they act sophisticated. And actually, I retract that. It's not even an act. It's who they are. And it comes off like when you meet someone, usually within the first couple minutes of the conversation, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, you can kind of tell if they're a classy type of woman or, you know, if they like to just go out and party all the time and show their ass all the time and all that stuff. And me, my woman, she's a classy woman, but she also can get, you know what I'm saying, a little ratchet, but that's with me. That ain't for the world to see. You know what I'm saying? Right. One of those lady in the street freaking sheets type thing. Like, that's for me. That's not for the world to see. That's not for Instagram to see. That's not for, you know, any of that other shit. So that's why when I think about class and classiness, I think about sophistication.
Now, Brittney Burna, listening to that, do women care about being labeled classy? Does it mean something to a woman, to modern day women, if you are considered a classy woman?
It has not been the trend lately. I feel like maybe about 5 to 10 years ago, that was still like the thing. But I'm trying to think about this term called ratchet.
Yes, I heard about that.
It became a thing, but that's very recent. So I really don't know the timeline of it all, but I think it has shifted.
The classy woman with a dab of ratchetness in her. Is that correct?
I consider myself a little raw. In my timeline of life, I feel like as I have matured, I have refined, especially as, you know, like you guys mentioned, you know, that sophistication piece comes into play as you learn more things about the world, you become more cultured, you have more experience and more knowledge, you start to decide who you are and who you want to be and how you want to present yourself. So that stuff comes with time, with maturity. The whole clatchet thing, I guess, is a meeting of those two minds, a meeting of those two worlds where you still have a little bit little bit of each going on, which I think it's nothing wrong with that, especially based upon what was just said about freaking the sheet and classy in the street. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I prefer that.
What? Yeah. Clutch it?
Yeah, I don't know if I prefer the term. I like the attributes that she described. For whatever reason, I tend to attract women that on paper or in the streets, these women look like they are damn Claire Huxtables. But behind closed doors, check their pedigree, they can out-talk you and they can out-fight you if necessary.
But I'll also say that can be kind of used against them as well. Like, if I'm being honest, I don't want a girl that's 50% ratchet, 50% righteousness. Like, right. I like a little bit of dab of ratchetness. Like, I need to know, like, if shit go left, you can be with the smoke, but also you're classy enough to where you don't impede on me leading. That's not your go-to. You would rather just, remove yourself from the situation. But if the smoke comes to you, hey, it is what it is.
I have to agree because in every situation, that ghetto shit has eventually turned on me at some point. So, right. It's eventually it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back on you. Eventually,
it's gonna either bite you in the ass or it's gonna punch you in the eye.
The same smoke that she puts out to the world, where you're like, yeah. But eventually, that's gonna turn on you in your intimate relationships. What's a good percentage in terms of classiness and ratchetness? Is it like 90-10?
80-20.
80-20? Okay.
For me, I think 80-20, 75-25, something like that, somewhere around there.
Willie P, you don't seem to like those numbers.
Yeah, I don't like the term at all, man. I think that's more of a mindset issue. Not anything against y'all. Y'all like what you like. Me, I can't fuck with it, right? You either gonna be one way or the other. Don't try to fucking confuse me or try to confuse your fucking mentality. Don't do that. Now, for me, I like a classy, super intelligent woman, that I can have conversations with and stuff. Not have to worry about her fucking embarrassing me somewhere where I'm going and stuff like that. You know what? Let me fucking flip the script, to be honest with you. Let me flip the script real quick.
I don't smoke cigarettes no more like that.
Oh, I think our guest has jumped on.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how you doing?
Who the fuck is talking about smoking cigarettes?
Somebody talking about smoking cigarettes?
Cigarettes like that no more?
This is a smoke-free podcast, okay?
This ain't no smoke-free podcast.
Cigarette smoke-free. We want the other kind of smoke. How do I pronounce your name?
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi. I love it.
Yeah.
Chi-Chi, we are in the beginning stages of this conversation, and we are talking about class versus ass. And right now, we're defining the definition of classy. So Willie P was just going into that. But if you want to just jump in and introduce yourself real quick, then we'll go right back into Willie P.
All right, it's your girl Chi-Chi, the comedian, coming all the way from Baltimore.
Baltimore in the house. Yes, we already best friends. Baltimore in the house. Go ahead, Chi-Chi.
No, but I think rather classy or ass, the ending want is ass. You can be classy, I still want some ass. That's what I think.
All right, Chi-Chi.
You fucking niggas like that? Is that what it is? You fuck your boyfriends?
Yeah, no, it ain't no nose in the bed with me. So if you like that, you make sure you hit my DM. Which one was that?
That was Willie P.
Make sure you tag him so I can find out what he like.
I'm the only one tagging anybody up in here.
Willie P is a frequent visitor of Baltimore, so I'm sure he'd be happy to come see you. But Willie P, I think you were going somewhere important, and I want you to finish that.
This is my thing, from a Willie P perspective, right? Sometimes I think as men, we put too many requirements on a woman to be, what we want her to be. Instead of us, being the leaders and saying, hey, look, this is where I'm going. If you want to follow me there, then follow me there. Whether you go or not, I'm still fucking going there, right? And I already know that the person that's behind me or beside me, they are the people that want to fucking be there. If she feel like she can't handle it in a fucking gala, me and my bow tie, my cummerbund, then cool. You ain't got to fucking go. If you feel like you can't handle that, I understand.
I can respect it. I like that you put the onus on men because a lot of times we project on the women like, oh, you got to come to the table with certain things in place where it's like, okay, well, if you're a man and you have that leadership quality, maybe your job is to guide her in a direction where she can become more.
Women ain't fucking perfect now. I don't want to put that out there. Women ain't fucking perfect. They got shit that they fuck up too. Y'all got some shit that y'all fuck up. And y'all know you do. Look, one of the biggest things I think is the biggest problem with fucking women is they don't know how to correct other women. They don't know how to hold other women accountable. Ooh. That's the biggest fucking issue. As black men, we hold each other accountable. You can't say some fucking dumb shit in front of us and then get away with it. No, we gonna check you on that shit. If you my fucking boy and you don't know how to fucking check me when I get out of fucking pocket, then you ain't my fucking boy. Dumb shit
So
that's gonna land me in fucking jail. Say what? What you
What
said?
you said?
I was
What
on
the
my
hell
soliloquy.
you think we be doing?
Y'all don't, hell no, y'all don't do that shit. Listen, if women fucking corrected other women, it wouldn't be so many fucking single women. If women corrected other women, you wouldn't see so many trashy fucking women in the street getting more attention.
Chi-Chi, get him. Chi-Chi, come in here and get him.
I agree somewhat, but I be feeling like that men be acting like they like that classy shit, but at the end of the day,
Ooh.
be supporting them hoes. You feel me?
Oh.
I did an experiment, right? I was in college recently. My first semester, I got straight A's. I posted that shit. I got 7 fucking likes. I posted a picture of me in my bikini. I got 3,731 likes.
I'm about to go on your IG right now and like your straight A post right now.
See, look, them the different class of fucking males.
You know how many niggas went back to that post and was like, "Oh, I ain't even see this bitch." You seen that?
Let me bring us back on track real quick, because speaking of men saying that they like classy women, there's this recent situation with Jada Pinkett. And Jada is on the surface would be a classy woman, but we see that her behavior is not aligned with what I would deem to be a classy woman. So what do we think about Jada in general being someone that was perceived as classy, but as time went on, we see that she got a lot of shit going on with her?
I feel like it goes back to these niggas don't be wanting classy women on the outside. Yeah, they want it to look like that, but that ain't what they want. These niggas love toxicity.
You said tox what now?
They really love that shit. I'm telling you, motherfuckers say what they want to say. Get that nigga a black eye. He will come back every motherfucking time.
Stop it. Brittney Burna, come clean this up, because she's talking crazy.
I'm crying. So I do agree that Will knew who she was. He chose that, especially considering all the other things and the stuff with Tupac and everything that they've been slowly talking about. But again, I can't talk too much on stuff that I don't know about. As far as me personally, I thought that Jada was one of those supreme, keep things under wraps, keep family business behind closed doors, and all those different things that you would think comes with that sophisticated label. But I think that they have done a relatively good job with keeping their business. What I don't understand or know is why all of this stuff is coming out lately. Maybe things just got out of hand. They got a little messed with the wrong people. But I do feel like they actually did a pretty good job at keeping their business for a while. And in my opinion, that comes with class, because when you have learned certain things, you know that everything is not for everybody.
Facts. But my point is that he ain't been with this woman 20 odd years and don't know who the fuck she was.
He got to know who that woman is.
Yeah,
I'll also say this. We only know what we know. We only know what we're shown. We don't know what the hell was really going on in that marriage. We only know what they want us to see. Now, why is she coming out with all this shit now? Well, hell, the shit is profitable. If you already going through some shit and people are already highly invested and interested in what you got going on, why not profit from that shit? So yeah, I'm gonna make that shit as juicy as possible so I can sell this book, so I can sell Red Table Talk, so I can sell us and profit off of our mishaps in marriage.
You know what? Honestly, you don't even know if all this shit is a fucking act anyway, right?
Exactly. Who
They're
the
not
hell
getting
knows?
all this fucking attention. So this is what I say to guys, right? Take this shit as a fucking example. I'm not gonna try to trash this man. What I will do is trash the fucking mindset. This is why I tell men, don't be nice, all right? Don't be nice. Don't be fucking emotional. You need to check your fucking emotions at all times. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You need to keep them shits fucking under a steel fucking leash, all right? And don't be fucking nice. I had this woman a while back, right? She really fucking put it down for me. She put shit into perspective. This is back when I was a fucking teenager, starting out brand new in the game. And she let me know, she said, hey, don't no woman want no nice ass man. Think about it, right? She went from fucking Tupac to Will Smith. Those are two different fucking worlds. Here you got some fucking nice ass motherfucker. He crying on fucking stage. He crying about all kinds of shit. You cheat on me, boo. That kind of shit dries a pussy up. And ain't no woman checking for that.
But there's this whole idea of a savage. It's been popularized recently. To me, the mentality is the savage mentality. Meg Thee Stallion has a song called I'm a Savage. And she talks about, I don't need a nigga for nothing but this, and this. it's basically a transactional.
Oh, ain't Megan Thee Stallion in a relationship?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
You see what I mean?
It's a mentality that's being
black women are
promoted.
fucking straight, but it ain't enough classy women out there saying, hey, no, look, you need to get in a relationship and stay with your husband. Really what's going on is what they're doing. You have black women that are leading black women astray, telling them to be single while they're out there in their fucking relationship. But it's not enough classy women out there to counteract that shit.
What do you think about the idea of certain women, celebrities promoting a savage mentality, but yet in their real life, they married with kids and they living a whole wholesome life, but they promoting something different?
I mean, I was gonna say, honestly, what I wanted to say when y'all were talking earlier is that I truly think that savage mentality or what have you came out of women now standing up for themselves and saying they can do what men do too, which has also been a relevant conversation over the past few years. Women evening out the playing field.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that women can do what men do?
No, not all of the things.
Yeah, I think that's what the savage mentality is kind of like. We can operate how men operate, especially when it comes to dealing with the opposite sex. But we kind of see that it doesn't really work out. Chi, can you come in here and address that question about the savage mentality?
I believe it's just like keeping up with the Joneses, as they say. If you really gotta be like whatever's trending at that point, you gotta kind of fit into that era. I guess like how they got music. One era is love music, then they got rap music, then they got cultural music. Like whatever is popping at that time, you really gotta kind of gravitate to it or adapt into it some way. So sometimes you gotta be other than yourself to get where you need to be on your career. Because like even in comedy, you know, you got dark comedy, then you got clean comedy, you got blunt comedy, you got old school comedy, new school comedy. So it's like whatever is catching the wave, in order to do it and do it well, you're going to have to kind of ride with it. I feel like you got to do what you got to do. Whatever's going to make you successful in the thing that you're trying to accomplish. I don't give a shit what nobody's opinion is because that shit does not pay a bill.
Chi and Britt, do you feel like there's certain industries as women where it's hard for you to maintain a certain level of class or decorum, just being a woman in like you in the comedic industry?
As soon as I walk in the room, every comedy show I go to, they say something about my titties or my ass, or I know that's why she getting where she at. And then they see me on stage, they be like, oh, damn, she really is funny. Like, they thought just because of the way I look or body parts that I had, that's why I'm where I'm at. I'm like, what the fuck?
You referenced Meg Thee Stallion, and we all know that Meg Thee Stallion is, at least I think, she's a fine chick and all that stuff. Lyrics is cool, but it's very provocative, right? But you look at somebody like a Rhapsody. Rhapsody is probably pound for pound the best lyrics is for female wise out there, but she doesn't get as much notification or notoriety because she's not rapping about, taking off her, showing her ass and doing all this. She's not rapping about. That's not what her lyrics are about. And most people probably never even heard of her. So it kind of goes in what Chi was saying is like, if that's what's selling, that's what most people are doing. They ride the wave until they can't ride it no more.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna throw a flag real quick. I think we as people, we need to be strong enough to push back. We need to be strong enough to say, there are some lines that we absolutely will not cross. Dave Chappelle, for example, where he says, hey, listen, I don't care how many black men are putting on dresses, how many men are putting on dresses. I'm not going to do it. There's been a lot of other brothers that have said the same thing. So I think it's important for us to just draw a line in the sand and say, I don't give a fuck who's doing this shit. I'm not going to do it. That's very important.
You ain't going to tell no nigga that's from the projects that somebody's offering them $5 million to go out here and rap about killing another black man and extorting people and doing all this other shit. And they fresh out of projects and they 19, 20 years old. They don't rap about the shit that they getting this $5 million for. I mean, what you're saying, Willie, I 100% agree with you. But the reality is, unfortunately, it's not going to happen because there's so many people that's impoverished. I really do. Unfortunately, there's so much poverty going around that the only thing that matters is green fucking money. That's it. And that's so unfortunate.
It's a mindset, really, that's the issue. Really,
but again,
that
mindset is based most of the time from poverty, though.
It's a poverty mindset.
Well, I think that's more of an experience thing that you're speaking to.
Your experience dictates your mindset. Like your experience is more.
No, that's not true at all, right? Because I grew up in the fucking projects. My family lived in the fucking projects, in fucking Cooper Green projects in Birmingham. So I understand how that is, all right? It's not really that. There are plenty of people that made it from the fucking bottom and they're at the top now, right? Jay-Z came from nothing.
But that's 1%. That's actually less than 1%, though.
All I'm saying is black men are not the only 1% that is going through that right now. That's a full trend for all sexes, races, whatever beliefs, any of the classes, all the things. So you can't sit here and say, all right, that's what we should. I mean, you can say it because you're right. We should be good people. That's what we should be striving to do. I agree with that part. What I'm saying is that the majority is not doing that. So when you come back down to what we're talking about, and you saying this doesn't make sense, we should be holding each other accountable. Women have been sexualized since the dawn of time. Sex sells. We have been using sex to make money, and men have been doing it too. It just works more for women in general. And I love that Chichi said that about comedy because, hell, all the way down to Wanda Sykes, they wanted her to be, a bad bitch. But she's like, nah, I'm gay. This is who I am. I love white women. This is what I'm doing. I'm me. And you have those people who will stand out and say, that's what I won't stand for, which is great. But again, that's not going to be the majority. One day, hopefully, maybe. But where we are right now, that's not it.
Well, why can't we make it a trend?
We can.
Yeah, I think we can and we will, but I think it's hard to apply ordinary standards to extraordinary people. I would categorize everybody on this show right now as extraordinary people, and we can set examples, we can trailblaze, we can run over the hill while everybody else is like, oh shit, I don't know what's over that hill. Well, fuck it, I'm gonna find out. I'm running over this hill. That's an extraordinary mindset, even though we both start at the bottom of the hill. Going back to something that somebody said earlier, do we think it's a contradiction for people to show themselves off online or on social media or whatever and then still want to be taken seriously?
I started a BBW lingerie line. Posting them motherfucking pictures, I made over $2,000 in 2 days. And ain't see nobody, ain't talk to nobody, ain't have to leave my damn bed. And my man sat right here and wrote down as my cash apps came in. That shit don't have nothing to do with your relationship. It just, you have to be clear on what you're doing and not be sneaky about the shit. If you want to be a part of this or don't want to be a part of it, and let him choose if this is something he feels is acceptable or not acceptable.
Yeah, you right about that shit. But for me, it's absolutely unacceptable. If you sell your ass, then that ass is sold.
You're not selling ass, you're selling a picture. You never meet these people a day in your life. These motherfuckers is in India and in other states.
Now, I kind of agree with what you're saying because I thought about at one point being a fucking stripper, right? Shaking my dick, right?
Oh, God.
That's
listen, I got a Python money maker, baby. Listen, but I kind of agree with what she's saying, and I kind of understand where she's going. She does have a valid point. You give that person a choice. Are you on board with this? Yes or no? Because this is the way it is. That's absolutely fair. However, for me, if you're doing that, then no, I don't. What the fuck am I going to do with that, right? I want something that's fucking mine or that's limited edition. If everybody has seen my woman, then what's the benefit of me having her? Me, the type of man I am, I want a woman that every man wants, but no man can have. That's the type of woman I want.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to the whole genesis of this discussion. Devon, do you feel like there's a contradiction there? Because what I'm picturing when I say that is a lot of women or people online or social media just having this advice that they're just speaking on so strongly, but then every picture they have, they're just butt naked, half naked ass, but they're talking about, my person is, my person that. First of all, what the hell is my person? I don't know what that is. But Devon, is that a contradiction there? Do you think that's a contradiction?
I mean, it's personal preference. I don't think it's a contradiction. I think it's just whoever that person is. If she want to be on the internet selling certain pictures of herself and making money off her body and controlling her narrative, then hey, that's what the fuck she can do because that's her prerogative, that's her narrative, that's her body, right? Instead of, selling it to this big ass company or Vivid Video or West Coast Productions. I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about with those. But instead of her, them having control of it, she got control of her own stuff. So I'm pro my body, my choice type shit. If that's what the fuck she want to do to earn her money and her living, and that's her business.
Y'all stop drinking that simp water.
There ain't no simp shit. It's real. Willie, you just said you was
Willie
thinking about
P.
being a stripper.
Willie P.
Sorry, Willie P, Willie Pimp, Willie Penis, whatever the P stands for. You just get ready to go shake your shit in front of some chicks for some money.
Yeah, that was so
you controlling
contradictory
your
because he just
narrative.
said I was going to be a stripper at one point.
I never
It's
did
the
that
same
shit.
thing.
It's a
All
difference.
that is-
Think about
I'm
something
about to
actually
pull your
putting it-
line. If you don't shut the fuck up so I can say what I need to say.
Okay, go ahead, Brett. Go ahead, Brett.
So when it comes down to it, I think it's a very, very thin line because perspective is in the eye of the beholder. I can't choose what you feel when you see something that I post, which means if I want to portray a certain image, especially if I'm the type of person that's on social media, throwing all myself out there in entertainment industry, stuff like that. There's a thin line staying in the business lane if you're promoting your lingerie versus looking like you're getting ready to be an OnlyFans person.
Exactly. And my titties and shit ain't on the line, but you might see it in a bra, but I want you to buy that bra.
And nudity can be done very classy as well. So it doesn't necessarily always mean that,
Ooh, that's a good point.
nude
That's a good
is
point, Brett.
coming. Exactly. Nude does not have to necessarily come with hoe, ratchet, whatever. So can it be contradicting? Yes. Can it cross that line? Absolutely. But can it be done? Yeah, absolutely.
But I think we can agree that it's probably not the most conducive situation for a relationship. Your partner being someone that makes money off of their body and then putting that on social media is going to add levels of challenges to a relationship that wouldn't typically be there.
But you have to be secure. And if you made that decision and you knew what you were walking into, then again, you should be able to handle that. If you walked into something blind, then it might be something a little different.
Do you feel like your spouse or your partner having a social media account should, well, let me start with Chi-Chi, because if the roles were flipped and if your boyfriend, if he was online, you know what I'm saying, selling pictures of himself, how would you feel about that? How would you think you would be able to navigate that?
If they selling, I'm taking the pics. And I'm going to put some characters with it. We're going to do some dirty gardening. We're going to do a fireman. I've been with my significant other for a while now, and we are in a very happy fucking relationship. And like, I have never been no infidelity on my end. And I'm very open with what I do. You know, like, I ain't never post no naked picture, but I've posted in my lingerie. Why? Because I want you to purchase this lingerie, and it is available for purchase, bitch. And I want you to see how a fat person look in it and can still look good.
So is there a protocol when you on social media and you are in a relationship? Is there protocol for how you deal with people?
Listen, when I'm talking about simp shit, I'm talking about the shit that a real man would have a standard. A man has drawn a line and he stepped to the progressive side of that line, right? The rest of that shit is fucking for simps, all right? Paying for pictures, paying for fucking access to a woman, paying for a woman's attention when you are fucking DMing a woman constantly. That's simp shit.
I feel like this shit is once, you don't get no rewinds, no redos. Because you got to think, what if a nigga hospitalized on hospice, but he got a phone?
Those are different circumstances. Circumstances, yes. Circumstances, then okay, we
if
deal
he ain't
with
got a
them
big dick like
circumstances.
you and it don't work.
That don't mean that you gotta be fucking...
So make your point real quick, Willie, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I got a question to wrap this up.
Cool. Listen, my thing is, yes, I agree. There are certain circumstances. However, I always say it's kind of fucked up for a woman to say what a man can do, and it's fucked up for a man to say what a woman should be doing. You stay in your own fucking lane. Men have to set standards for men. Men need to raise men. Men need to raise boys to be men. If we don't, then guess what? We're going to lose what the fuck it means to be a man. What I have done and what Brittney Burna has really cautioned me on is not trying to speak for what women are supposed to be, how they're supposed to act and so forth. And she's absolutely right. And I say the same thing when it comes to men, especially when it comes to black men.
The last thing on this whole classy versus showing the ass discussion. So the idea of, you got to wait a certain time period before you give up the ass or give up some sex. Throughout time, that's kind of been associated with a woman that was more classy. The longer she made you wait, the more classy she was, or the more elegant she was, or whatever you want to label her. But do we feel like the amount of time that you're waiting to have sex has anything to do with your level of class?
I think if you just looking to smash, then it ain't gonna be no waiting period. If you're looking for a husband, then maybe you want to take things a little bit slower. If you have the propensity to smash guys a little quicker, but you're looking for a husband, you might want to pull back some and take your time. I don't want to call it a game, but I also don't want to give it the Steve Harvey 90-day rule or whatever he has either. Like, I think that shit is crazy, but it does depend on what you're looking for. If you give it to them on the first night, I feel like a lot of respect might be lost. I'm not saying that it always happens, but in a lot of cases, a lot of guys I personally know, they lose respect for that. So if you give it a certain amount of time, I ain't saying wait 3 months, I ain't saying wait 2 months, but maybe like the first 5 dates, you might not give anything because you really want to see what's going on. But again, it's just personal preference.
I think there's a strategy to get to every goal that you would like to reach, no matter what that goal is. So if your end goal is marriage, like you mentioned, there's a different strategy that you would take versus if you were having a night and you're playing around and you're saying, I just want to get some dick tonight and that's what I'm going to go find. So interestingly enough, not giving it up immediately has come with the label of childish a lot lately. Obviously that doesn't offend me, but so much other than the fact that I wasted my time with your ass. However, I find it funny because I wish a nigga would make me feel like I'm at a different mental level just because he wants me to give up something that I'm not interested in doing yet. Now, what I will say is I agree with what you're saying, Devon. I really personally think that it depends on where you are mentally. And often what I believe is when there's chemistry, you will get to know a person a certain way. So let's say there's somebody I don't really gel with. It might take me 10 dates to kind of get to know them and fill them out. Maybe it was hard to read. Maybe it took a while for the chemistry to build. But I may meet somebody that I was able to have a 10-hour conversation with the first time we get on the phone. That's going to be a different experience. And maybe when I meet that person, I'll be more inclined to have a sexual encounter with them versus the person that I'm clearly not gelling with over the phone. So I think there are those different factors that can impact, the chemistry that you have with that person. And that's where the timing comes into play.
Chi, I know you've been in a relationship for a while, but that whole waiting game, is that a game or is that like Brittney Burna talked about strategy?
I mean, I agree with her. It's kind of the chemistry. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. You fuck around, wait, and somebody else end up slipping up and fucking your man and be with him for 40 years. So it's up to you in your situation. If you feel as though that y'all vibing that way and that's what y'all want to do, y'all two consenting adults, smack them cakes. To each his own. I waited the third day. I was going against myself because I wanted to do it the first day, but I was like, nah, I don't want to be a hoe.
Like Brittney said, the chemistry is everything. But for men, the sexual tension is so high when you're dealing with a woman that you're attracted to that you really want to get that out the way so you can really start getting to know her. When that tension is there, it's like before we can get really comfortable, we got to have sex with you. We're not fully comfortable with a woman until we have sex with her.
Can you just say why out loud? Can you just say why?
In order for women to have sex, y'all got to be comfortable. But in order for us to be comfortable, we got to have sex. That's the difference between men and women. Once we get that sexual tension out of the way, we can really start to relax.
But it's not that you got to get a test drive and see if the coochie good, because if the coochie not good, you're not going to stay. That's not it?
That's for like an immature mind. You know what I mean? If it's a working, functional, moisturized, I'm going to just say yoni because that's a better word, box, then a real man can work with that. But Willie P, you got some disagreement?
This is what I'm going to say. Everybody speaks from their own experience and they speak for their own preference, right? I can agree with what some of the things that everybody is saying. I have talked to women, for a year and never fucking touch them, right? Now I've talked to women for less than an hour and we was getting fucking on. As a matter of fact, most of the women that I've had sex with have been one night stands. I think it kind of depends. As for me, how I am, you not wanting to have sex doesn't mean I'm not going to have sex. So that's why I agree with what Chi-Chi is saying. I'm going to get some pussy, all right? It may not be from you, but I'm going to get some fucking pussy. However, I do agree, with Brittney Burna saying when it comes to chemistry and stuff like that. But what I disagree with, saying, all men are wired the same, because we're not. Me, I'm more of a hunter type. I like to fucking chase women as long as there's an end to that pursuit. However, if I'm looking at a woman and, if it's a classy woman and she has her head on right, she's super fucking intelligent, I'm liking how she's talking, liking how she carrying herself like that, then sex really ain't on my fucking mind.
Can you fully determine if you're compatible with a woman if you hadn't had sex with her yet? I'm talking about compatibility.
Absolutely. If
you haven't had sex with a woman, you know that you're compatible with her without having sex with her.
It's more factors that go into that. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Who I'm going to fucking decide that I'm going to be in a relationship with. The sex is not on the forefront for me when it comes to determining if I'm going to be with this woman for a long time. Because guess what? The sex ain't going to fucking keep me. What's really going to keep me is knowing the fact that you got my back if something fucking happens.
I guess my question is, can you determine that without having sex with a person?
Absolutely.
There's things that you learn about a person through sex that you cannot learn without having sex with them. There's unspoken things that you can't even verbalize.
That's what I'm saying is when it comes to me picking a woman long term, sex is not on the forefront, right?
Right.
Now, I just want to fuck somebody, right? And she ready to get it on, then cool. I'm not gonna judge her for it. I'm not gonna treat her fucking bad because she said I just want some dick. I'm like, okay, cool, come get this dick, right?
She gives it to you the first night. Does that automatically X her out from being a relationship potential? Is there still stigma? Because for me, there's none. I don't care if it's the first. It don't matter.
I'm not going to say that because I've never come to one of those situations before. I've never fucked a woman like on either the first date or within the first couple of hours and then been in a relationship with her.
Devon, Chi-Chi.
The hoes away.
What'd you say, Chi-Chi?
Another day, keep the hoes away.
A nut a day.
A nut a day. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Right.
You are one of the great minds of our time. I want you to know this. You're one of the great minds of our time.
Look, a sore dick ain't fucking thinking about pussy. We like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. Same thing with a fucking worn out pussy. If you beat that pussy up good, she like, nigga, get the fuck away from me. I don't want no conversation from you. Not at all.
I think what I'm hearing is the main takeaway from this conversation is that you need to make sure that you are being of service to the man or woman. You service them by draining them of all their bodily fluids before they go out into the world.
This is what I do.
I love it. And with that, I want to thank our guests for coming on. Great conversation. People talk around these type of things. We actually talked about it. We went through it. Like we didn't go around it. Threw it, smacked it up, flipped it, rubbed it down.
Do it, round it.
Yeah. Yep. So my man Devon, I want Devon to come in here real quick, tell people where to find you. Great to have you back.
Yeah, for sure, man. You can find me on IG at Von_Tuff. That's VON_TUFF. On TikTok, it's Chameleon Love 5. And then if you still ancient like me, Facebook, Devon Heath.
Chi-Chi, it's a pleasure and honor to have you. You come in here, tell people where to find you, where they can get your lingerie stuff, your comedy stuff, all that good stuff.
Make sure you follow me on IG at Chi-Chi the Comedian, CHE the Comedian, and links are all in my bio.
So with that, What Black Men Like, best podcast in the game. We did it again. We out of here, y'all.